We are back for another episode of Local Festive Traditions, which explores the roots and holiday traditions of local immigrant stories right here in Kennebunk. Each of these stories was researched and written using the local census as well as archival materials here at the Brickstore Museum. Don't forget, you can leave us stories about your own family traditions, questions about the stories that we tell, and discover more of the videos at brickstoremuseum.org/festive traditions. Let's jump back into our story.
Aveline Fawashe Jeech. Happy New Year. My name is Owen Berry. Following the famine in our country in the 1840s, my parents, Mary and Michael, along with my two younger brothers and I, left County Louth, Ireland in 1852. We arrived in Boston, Massachusetts in November of that year. Upon arrival, our name was misspelled as Barry instead of Berry. For various reasons, changes to the spelling of family names was a common occurrence in Ireland, dating back centuries and continuing in America. After 3 years in Massachusetts, we moved to Kennebunk Landing in 1855. Why did we come to Kennebunk, you may ask? My oldest brother James had emigrated from Ireland in 1848 at the height of the potato famine. He worked as a laborer for William Lord Jr. and sent money back to Ireland for our passage. My older brother John had arrived a year before us and also provided funds for our passage. It had been hard being away from my two older brothers, so we were pleased to journey from Boston to our new home in Kennebunk. When we arrived, there was not a big Irish community in the Kennebunks. Single Irish men and women generally worked as domestic help or laborers for the wealthier families in town. Luckily, me and my brothers, John and Richard, all found and married lovely Irish gals, coincidentally all named Bridget. John and Bridget had met when they were both serving in the Lord household. My oldest brother, James, found an equally lovely Irish lass named Betsy. James became a naturalized citizen in August 1856 by signing the Oath of Allegiance to the United States and denouncing all allegiance and fidelity to every foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty whatsoever, particularly to Victoria, Queen of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. My father, Michael, and the four of us sons followed suit a year later, traveling to Portland and becoming naturalized citizens on August 24, 1858. My mother did not need to seek naturalization. It was implied and granted through my father's naturalization process. All of the Berry men worked as laborers in town. When the Civil War broke out, I registered for the draft. Luckily, none of us were called to serve. My younger brother Patrick died in 1874 at the young age of 44 and is buried in Biddeford. My father Michael died 4 years later and is buried in the same family plot as St. Mary's. At that time, there was no Catholic church in Kennebunk and thus no Catholic cemetery. By the late 1880s, my family was doing quite well. I owned a Storer Street masonry business. My son, William, was a carriage painter and eventually owned his own thriving painting business in town. We lived on Lincoln Street, near the Mousom River, and my brothers lived nearby, all in the Storer Street area. December 30th, 1917, I died at age 74. My son William married Lizzie and expanded his business to become a painting contractor. They lived at number 4 Berry Court. When William died in 1942, the Kennebunk Star reported, it is said that during his busiest years, he painted 90% of the houses in this town. As an immigrant from Ireland, I couldn't be prouder that my son built successful businesses here in Maine that kept the family name alive and also have a street named after us. Christmas and New Year's are important holidays for us. About the time we arrived in Kennebunk, Town Clerk Andrew Walker noted, the Irish in this town, many go to Portland or Saco where they can enjoy the revelry of their countrymen and countrywomen. Our family, however, brought the Irish Christmas celebration to Kennebunk. As Catholics, many of our Christmas traditions were religious in nature, to celebrate the birth of baby Jesus and honoring of Mary and Joseph and the Christ child. We were not the only immigrant to celebrate the Catholic traditions of Advent and Midnight Mass. You've heard about many of these traditions from our French-Canadian neighbors. I'm here instead to tell you about our post-Christmas Day traditions. We celebrated New Year's Eve with gusto in an effort to banish bad luck and to bring in good luck for the new year. During the day, we banged bread against the walls. One of the more unusual traditions, I'll say. But it was meant to ward away bad luck and ensure plenty of bread in the coming year. If we banged the bread gently, it could be served later at our New Year's Eve feast, or perhaps be served with jam the next day for breakfast. Or it could be a good way to use up stale bread. In addition to welcoming the new year and a new beginning, we honored our loved ones who had died the year before by setting a place for them at the table during our New Year's Eve feast and saying a prayer or two in their memory. Tradition dictated that we also leave the latch off the door that evening to make it as easy as possible for our loved ones' spirits to pay a call. Family members seeking good luck in the coming year would stand outside and at the stroke of midnight, come in through the front door and immediately exit the back door. While outside waiting to come in, we would check the way the wind was blowing. Westerly winds on New Year's Eve meant good luck for Ireland in the coming year. Easterly winds meant the luck would go to the British instead. The 12 days of Christmas ended on Epiphany, January 6th. Traditionally, this day was also known as Little Christmas, when the women were given the day off from cooking and cleaning as a thank you for their hard work and hospitality over the 12 days. The ladies would go out with their friends while the men handled the household responsibilities, including serving traditional Little Christmas scones. It was also the day all decor is taken down. If not, bad luck could befall the home in the weeks and months to come. Again, Aveline Fawashe Cheech. Happy New Year.